I swear I turned that off. Get out of here, Shaq. Holy. Alright. What's up, guys? It's my first time back streaming in a minute, so been a while. Got a new mic. Let me know how it sounds, chat. If it's too far, too close, whatever. Anyways, we're gonna start talking about the trades. And I'm just gonna go down the list that I have in ESPN. There was so many. I didn't feel like I could accurately type a description for every one of them. It would just take so long. So I'm gonna go over them one team at a time, give my input, grade them, maybe, probably not. Just give my input really and what I think each team got out of it. Right off rip, we're looking at the Bulls and Jazz. Bulls are receiving Paul Millsap and Andre Kirilenko in exchange for Kyle Korver, Carlos Boozer, and 2011 and 2012 unprotected firsts. Now the Bulls are pretty competitive. I mean, they've got Derrick Rose, 22-year-old. I mean, this guy's electric. And they backed him up, with Noah, and they had Boozer. And I do like them acquiring Paul Millsap there, adding to that young core. I mean, look right here. You can see they've got three 25-year-olds in the starting lineup, and then a 22-year-old Derrick Rose. That's a pretty solid core there. I will say that starting Keith Bogans at the starting two. I mean, I think they could have used a shooting guard before the deadline ended, but still, I think if they moved to C.J. Watson and flipped him and Bogans around, well, I think that would have been more beneficial to them. Uh, but I do think it was good. They got a young guy in Paul Millsaps, and Kirilenko, a vet. He's actually injured right now. I had to uninjure him to make the trade, so I'll get to that and fix it. That's why his overall's down. But anyways, on to the Jazz, their side of things. Um, I really actually do like this trade for them as well. Um, Boozer's still got a couple years left being good and serviceable. It gives them a solid duo to build around here, and I don't think the Bulls picks will be great these next 2 years by any means, but I still think they're going to get quality young players, which is good because they have an aging core. As you can see there, they don't really have, outside of Gordon Hayward, there's not a lot of youth in the team, especially with Paul Millsap's gone now. So I do kind of like the direction they're going in. You stay a little competitive with these two over the next couple seasons. Put some young guys around them, let them develop until Gordon Hayward can take over and lead the squad. So I like it. I see the vision. Now we'll move on to the Bobcats here. Um, they traded DJ Augustine and a second for Chris Kaman. Okay, so Augustine's pretty young. Um, I do hate it for them that they lost that, but at the same time, they needed a starting center so bad, so I understand why they did it, and I do think that it was a good move um, overall for them because they needed that starting center. They do have this debacle here, which I'm gonna assist them here. Oh, okay, well, never mind. They can handle it on their own time then, because somebody's gonna have to go down. Because right now they're starting Mike Bridges, guess the uncle of Mikal Bridges here at the shooting guard, and don't really know. Yeah, I mean, just with these two guys, somebody should be starting there. So they did have a couple holes. They filled one of them. Shooting guard spot is still looking rough. On the other side of things for the Clippers, I actually loved this trade for the Clippers, believe it or not. Um, I think that DJ Augustine continues building that young core that they wanted because he's only 23 and it fills their void at point guard, which is a major thing. I mean, Bledsoe is running the point guard right now at 20 years old, his rookie season coming in running the point guard, and he's just unexperienced, not as talented yet. And I think this sets them up in a major position to win. I think that you give DeAndre Jordan the starting spot now, 22 years old, let him come in. Rookie season, no, I don't know if it's his rookie season or not. I think it's a sophomore campaign. Um, he's had a rough start so far, but I think let him get in the starting lineup, let him get his confidence up. You know, DJ Augustine in the mix now. Like, I mean, look at that young starting lineup. This is a young core, a really talented young core that I think the Clippers are developing here. So, big fan of that one for them. On the other side of things, here we've got the Nuggets and the Pacers. So the Nuggets traded away Mike Dunleavy. No, they traded away Kenyon Martin and Gary Forbes for Mike Dunleavy and James Posey. Gary Forbes and James Posey are both 72 overall, small forwards. So I'll get there. I'll get there. I think you're next. Yeah, you are next. Okay. So just get through this one, and then I'll be talking about you. Um, Dunleavy was a pretty good ad for them, I think. I don't know if this is just a major. This isn't a major impact trade. I don't think for really either side. I mean, the Pacers get a 33-year-old power forward, 80 overall. They get a 30 overall small forward. I mean, they're pretty similar. Both are going to be coming off the bench. I mean, on the Pacers side of things, I think that that's good because they already have so many small forwards that it was good that they alleviated that, got Kenyon Martin. Hansbrough being hurt right now, they really would. Oh, we got 10 people on. I'm not expecting that many people. But they got Hansbrough there right now, which, he wasn't a bad starter by any means, but he just goes down with an injury. I mean, who are they going to play? They have nobody on the roster to play power forward besides Roy Stevens. 12 people. Wow. Shout out to you guys coming out. Um, so I don't know. I don't think it's a major impact as far as either side of things, but I do think that it was a good trade for the Pacers. I will say I don't not that I don't understand why the Nuggets did it. I just don't think it's a major deal for them. I think it doesn't really matter. They do get a younger guy, which I do see that. They get a 30-year-old as opposed to a 33-year-old. So there's the positive for them. But for the Pacers, I really do like it that they were able to fill that power forward hole, especially when they have so many talented small forwards on the roster. Now we're moving on. Blazers and Warriors. Let's do it that way. All right. So for the Blazers side of things, they traded 2 first-round picks and 2 first-round picks and a bum for Monta Ellis and 2 seconds. So where Monta Ellis at? Okay. I really like this trade. Hold up. There we go. Okay. I really like this trade for them. I mean, they are a very deep team. I think they're one of the deepest teams in the league, and I don't know if they're. I can't remember. Let me look at their record so far this season. They're the 6 seeds. Yeah, they're doing good actually. For some reason, thought they were a lot worse than that. But anyways, really like this trade for them actually. Especially being the 6 seed, they got a younger guy. Their core is about the same age, which is good. Andre Miller's kind of old, but Aldridge, Roy, Ellis, Batum, Matthews, Odin. I mean, they've got a really young squad. I mean, they're gonna lose Camby soon, maybe even after this season. They're gonna lose Miller soon again. Could be this season, which will hurt their depth. But I mean, they've got some guys that could turn into stars. I mean, these two right here. I mean, these three, any of them. I mean, they could develop well. I think that this was a good trade, putting another piece on the roster for them, helping them stay competitive and also stay young. Hate it they lost their first, but I mean, kind of got to eat that to stay competitive. And on the other side of things, the Warriors, I mean, you're building around Steph. They weren't in a position to win now. They know that. We know that. It's no secret they weren't winning games. Um, so I completely understand this trade. I think it was a good trade. You're going to get two decent firsts out of it. Um, and Lewis Thompson. And he's not good at all, but where's he at down there? Yeah, he's terrible, but I mean, you got two good firsts out of it, so I don't hate the trade at all. So I think it'll help them, do a little tanking, get their pick a little lower, and give them a couple other good picks over these next 2 years, and get some young guys surrounding Steph. Now, the Raptors and Grizzlies. Okay, we're gonna start with the Raptors because we're gonna move to the Grizzlies and probably stick with them because they had back-to-back trades. So let's go where the Raptors at. Where am I at right now? What planet am I on? Nope. Okay, I've got to. Oh, it's because I'm so sorry, guys. Traded a 2011 first, top five protected, and a 2013 first unprotected. Um, I don't necessarily think the picks were a great idea, just because they're still young. Not even that they're young, they need some young guys. Uh, Not a lot of talent here yet outside of DeRozan, maybe. Bonga, Bar, how do you even say his name? Andre Bagnani, I don't know. That's giving me trouble forever. But anyways, they don't really have a super talented team. They don't really have a super young team. So I do think they could have used the picks. But I mean, I see when you can trade two first rounders, one of which being top five protected. Um, you know, that's not a bad deal. You kind of take that. Get a guy like Zach Randolph. He's 29. He's got a couple good years left in him. I completely understand why they did it. I'm not against it. And then they still have their first next year. So it's not like they lost, consecutive first. This one's top five protected. They've got that insurance on it. And so hopefully by 2013, they can make a couple signings and be competitive so that 2013 first won't hurt them as bad. Now let's keep going on to the Grizzlies in this trade, who ended up suffering a big loss in Zach Randolph, but I think that they're pretty much okay with that. They're young. I don't think they're wanting to win very much right now. And so they got some firsts. No, yeah, they got a couple firsts from the Raptors there who have not been very successful, which I like. They'll probably got a top 10 pick this year from the Raptors through that trade. They really just need to hope it doesn't land in the top five. But with Randolph being there for the rest of the season, I don't see that happening. I see it being a, high single digit, low double digit pick, which is still going to be a good player. It's a deep draft class. At that spot, you can get Tobias Harris. I think Vucevic is back there. Um, who else is it? I'm trying to remember who's all in this class. But there's some good guys back there, just outside the top five that they could get. Gives them a couple assets if they do decide to trade up in the draft because they have a lot of picks now. So they can absolutely make a trade up and get one of those top five guys because the top five of this draft class is really good. Um, yeah, there's not much more to say about that one. We'll move on to the next Grizzlies trade, where they got 4 first-round picks for OJ Mayo and Rudy Gay, which I do find this trade interesting. I'm happy it happened because, fun fact, OJ Mayo's career went downhill because he got hooked on codeine in his last year. Some people say 2 years in Memphis. That's all theory, which is why he failed a drug test and was banned from the league in 2016. But this completely changes his career scope now that he's out of Memphis because he won't get addicted to codeine, or will he? Maybe, who knows? Um, yeah, let me know how I should do stuff like that, guys. I don't know how to decide if I hook him on codeine or not. But I mean, I think that's a good trade for the Pacers. I understand it. I feel like they gave a lot of picks up, just being honest. I don't think the players hurt them very badly. They're pretty deep. They gave a lot of picks up. So they really have to count on their guys, but they have a really good young core because of that. I don't think it's going to hurt them too badly because they aren't missing much. They gave those picks, which by the way, phenomenal for the Grizzlies. They got what they wanted. They got 4 years worth of picks from this Pacers team, and now they're going to have to sit back and pray on their downfall. And they've got 3 first-round picks this year, so they're going to be, I mean, they're going to be building a young core for the next couple years to come. Watch out for the Grizzlies here in about 4 or 5 seasons. But the Pacers, on the other hand, they are still solid. I mean, they are already a 6 seed, and they just heavily improved on top of that. Still need to do some position changes and whatnot because they've got 3 small forwards right now. But I mean, between Rudy Gay and Danny Granger, Paul George, they got Darren Collison, Roy Hibbert, Kenyon Martin, OJ Mayo. I mean, this is a deep, deep roster, very deep team. Um, Super talented as well. Pretty young. I mean, Paul George, Darren Collison, Roy Hibbert, Rudy Gay, and Danny Granger. Danny Granger's not super young by any means, but Hansbrough is down here. Mayo. I mean, if they can keep this squad together, those losing those 4 first will not hurt them. They will be able to tank that and eat it, and in 4 years they could still be a championship contender without those first round picks, just because this is such a good group they have. They're all pretty young. They're gonna lose Kenyon Martin at some point in that time span, but outside of that, this team's only gonna get better. So I do like this trade for them. I think this sets them up to be a very successful team over the next couple years as these guys develop. I think they just are lacking star power right now. It's the only thing that's going to stop them from going far this year. They're deep, but they don't have an it factor, you know? Um, that's what I mean. Paul George, we know Paul George could become that. We could see Danny Granger, Rudy Gay, Roy Hibbert. We need somebody to step up, and that's just going to take time. But I mean, they have that time now with no picks. I mean, nothing to lose. You got to go all in on these guys. But I think that's all of the stuff for now. I'm about to end the stream, sim the games, get out All-Star stuff. Anyways, yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. We had like 12 people in here at one point. Sorry for rambling too. I really didn't have a plan for this video at all. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. See you guys probably for finals time.